are discussing on primary data and secondary data, the various sources of data. So we have discussed the various techniques for collecting primary data. We have discussed about observation, we have discussed about interview techniques. We have also discussed about the focus group previously. So focus group also is one of the technique of collecting primary data. Today our discussion is on questionnaire method of primary data collection. So we'll discuss as what are the different types we can put in a questionnaire. So questionnaire is one of the popular tool that is used in research. Often we see researchers using questionnaire in collecting data. So when it is the collection of primary data, so most of the times we see questionnaire is being used. But otherwise, we also should know that there are other ways of collecting primary data. As we have seen, observation is there, right? Depth interview is there, focus group is there. So those are more of related to collection of qualitative data, qualitative. So when it is that related to collection of quantitative data, you may have to depend on questionnaire. So we will discuss today as what are the different types of question that we can put in questionnaire while designing questionnaire. Okay. So we'll see as also we'll discuss about the schedule, what is schedule, what is the difference between questionnaire and schedule. So that also we'll be discussing. So questionnaire, so what is a questionnaire? Questionnaire is a formal schedule for collecting data. So it is a formal instrument. So formal in the sense it is not just a set of questions, a collection of questions. Questionnaire is not like that. So there is a lot of thought goes behind that, a lot of planning is involved while designing the questionnaire. So once you design the questionnaire, you will have to test the reliability of the questionnaire by applying some statistical tests. So that's why it's called as a very formalized schedule for collecting data. So that's how we define questionnaire. So maybe you may have a form of an interview while collecting the data. So it is used to collect data by way of asking questions with the respondents, and it's a it's also called as interview form. Okay, it's also called, and the name of questionnaire is also interview form, and it's a measuring instrument, data measuring instrument, or data collection instrument. Translate the information needed to specific questions. So when you're designing questionnaire, you will have to translate the needed information, what you require, what type of information that is required. You will have to frame questions to collect that information. So that questions you will have to put it in the questionnaire. And while designing the questionnaire, it should be something like you will have to stimulate the respondents. Okay, it should be something, it should be it should be attracting them to respond. It should be very clear and simple. You should not use words, complicated words in questionnaire. It should not be that the respondents will have to refer dictionary to understand your English word meaning. So in that way, the words that is used in questionnaire should be very simple and it should be very clear. And you have to put one question in one, in a one question. You should not club two questions in one question. Sometimes people will ask two questions in one question. That and all becomes complicated, confusing. So So it should not be, it should be one question and the possible responses should be given if it is an option or some other type, multiple choice, like that. Okay. And it should be personally administered. So if the sample size is manageable, the researcher may administer the questionnaire by himself. Better. It's always better that the researcher, he himself, gives the questionnaire to the respondents. That is what we understand by personally administered. The questionnaire has to be personally administered. Or it may be that if the respondents are in the far off location, or in a situation like this pandemic situation, you cannot go and meet a person, you cannot personally administer the questionnaire, right? At that time you may mail the questionnaire. Okay, maybe you will attach the questionnaire as mail and send it. But now we have very common and most oftenly used questionnaire is in the form of Google Forms. Google Forms, you can prepare the questionnaire. So I know that you have already prepared in the previous semester. So we have made a survey forms to prepare questionnaire, and you can just send that Google form link to various respondents through social media or any other forms, and then you can get their responses collected. So there are different types of questions that we can put in a questionnaire. So that one type of question is dichotomous question. Dichotomous question is where the response for that question is generally yes or no. The response for such dichotomous question will be yes or no. So what can be a dichotomous question? Maybe that you are asking a respondent, putting a question. Do you order food through Zomato? Or do you use Zomato app in your mobile? Have you installed Zomato app in your mobile phone? One question, only one question. So the answer should be yes or no, is it not? Do you have a Zomato app installed in your mobile phone? Maybe you are doing a survey related to Zomato. Okay, anything, any topic it may be. You are trying to measure the awareness level or the usage of Zomato services. So it may be any topic. Okay, I'm just giving as what can be the type of question if you are putting that in a dichotomous manner. Okay, a dichotomous question, for example, if you are putting, have you installed Zomato app in your mobile? Option should be yes, another one should be no. You may give a circle or you may give a checkbox where that respondent ticks that. So that is an example for dichotomous question. So dichotomous question is a type of question where the response is in the form of yes or no. So the respondent have to choose yes or it may be no. So that is one type of questions that we can put it in questionnaire. Then some questions you may not be able to just answer it yes or no. Right? Every question you cannot answer it in yes or no. So you will have to put some other options. Right? So that is when you are giving one question and you are giving various options from which the respondents have to tick some options. Then that type of questions is called as multiple choice questions. This is another type of questions that we normally put in questionnaire. Multiple choice questions consist of 3 or more exhaustive, mutually exclusive categories. Example, a multiple choice question to find out how a person first heard about website is. maybe you are doing a survey. Okay, you are doing a survey on a particular website. Maybe it is Flipkart. You are doing a survey and you are trying to find out their awareness as when did or how did they come to know about that website. Where did you first hear about our website? So it may be in any form. Okay, here I have given it as how did you first hear about our website? How did you first hear about Zomato? It may be. How did you first hear about Flipkart? How did you first hear about Zomato? Anything, any product category, anything it may be. So just here we have given it is for a related one particular website. It is. So what should be the options? It is not in yes or no. You cannot put in dichotomous, right? Yes or no, you cannot put for that. So various sources of information is television is one option. Radio, he may hear about that website. Newspaper, he may hear. Magazine, it may be. Internet, it may be. Or it may be through friends, right? Or it may be neighbors, relatives. So that and all like that. Anything, you can put that. So respondents may hear information about the website from any of these sources. So you will have to put those as different options. So that if you are putting the type of questions like this, then it is called as multiple choice question. Okay. Then another type of question which is called as rank order scaling. Sometimes you will have to rank the products or brands. Maybe you are trying to compare different brands in a particular product category, right? Maybe that an automobile sector, Indian automobile, for example, there are different types of cars. There is Maruti is there, Honda is there, Toyota is there, Mazda is there, Ford is there. So you are trying to measure which is better in certain terms, in a mileage factor, which is better. How does the consumer feel, which is giving more mileage? In terms of service, which is better? So like this, different parameters you would have to evaluate. So that time you can use a rank order scaling. So I have given an automobile example here. You may take any other example, right? It may be a toothpaste. You can compare between different product brands in the toothpaste, right? In terms of the pricing, which is better, in terms of the the taste, which is better, in terms of the cleaning ability, which is how does the consumer compare with other brands, right? So like that. So ranking. So they will have to give ranks here. We'll see that what it is. Rank order scaling questions allow a certain set of brands or products to be ranked based upon a specific attribute or characteristic. So you will have to, when you are doing research, you will have to evaluate brands or products on certain parameters, certain criteria. Say, as I said already, you may have to compare different brands in terms of the pricing, in terms of the quality, in terms of so many other features. Maybe you are trying to compare about online, websites, online retailers, say Flipkart, Amazon, and so on, right? So you may have to compare it with the delivery. One parameter is delivery. Another one is, the service, right? Another one is user friendliness. So like that, you may have about 5 or 6 or 10 different parameters. You will have to compare. You have to compare between a few. So that time you may have to use rank order scaling. Okay. So here we will be seeing in a particular example, based upon what you have seen, heard, and experienced, please rank the following brands according to their reliability. Reliability. Reliability is one attribute of a automobile, right? Automobile, whether it is 4-wheeler or 2-wheeler, to what extent the consumers can rely on that brand. So here it's an example where the researcher is trying to understand to what extent these brands, so we have 4 brands here, that is Honda, Toyota, Mazda, and Ford. They are trying to find out the consumer's experience and their perception based on their reliability attribute of these different brands. So you want to measure it among the customers' perception or experience, whether Honda is more reliable, whether Toyota is more reliable, or Mazda, and comparatively how it is, which is the least reliable, which is the most reliable, like that. So you can use a rank order. So what they have to do, place one next to the brand that is most reliable. So they have to give one rank, that is first rank for the brand which they find which is most reliable. Second one is next reliable. Third one is third. Fourth one, if you are giving, that is the least reliable automobile in this set of automobiles. So that is called as rank order scaling. Then rating scale. Rating scale questions require a person to rate a product or brand along a well-defined, evenly spaced continuum. Rating scales are often used to measure the direction and intensity of attitude. Sometimes you'll have to measure the intensity of the attitude of the consumers. So this is attitude measuring scales. It's also called as attitude measuring scales. Example of a comparative rating scale question: which of the following categories best describe your last experience purchasing a product or service on our website? Which of the following categories best describe your last experience purchasing a product or service on your website? So it is trying to evaluate, about a website. They're trying to measure how was their experience, whether the experience was very pleasant, somewhat pleasant, neither pleasant nor unpleasant, neutral. So that is neutral, somewhat unpleasant, and very unpleasant. So here the researcher is trying to evaluate a particular website based on the consumer's experience. It may be very pleasant to very unpleasant. So he will be giving a rating here, how was based on his experience. So that is called as rating scale. Then another scale is there. Another type of question that can be put in the questionnaire is the semantic differential scale. So here the semantic differential scale asks a person to rate a product or brand or company based upon a 7-point rating scale that has 2 bipolar adjectives at each end. The following is an example of semantic differential scale. Again, this here we are seeing an example of a website. A researcher is trying to find out the attractiveness of the website. So you want to measure the attractiveness of the website. So it may be very attractive and very unattractive, is it not? He is trying to say, if it is given, say very attractive means it should be somewhere around point should be 7. If it is, it should be 1 number. Very unattractive. In between, it may be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, anything. So it depends on the consumer's experience. Then staple scale. Another type of question is staple scale. So the staple scale asks a person to rate a brand, product, or service according to a certain characteristic on a scale +5 to -5. So here you are trying to evaluate a particular brand or a product or a company or service, anything, on a scale where the measurement is from +5 to -5. Indicating how well the character describes the product or service. So it may be attractiveness, easiness, pleasant, anything for that matter. It may range from +5. +5 means it is very good, excellent. -5 means it is worst. So like that. It poorly describes. So we are taking an example. When thinking about data mining technologies, do you believe that the word innovative aptly describes the company on a scale of +5 to -5, with +5 being very good description of being poor description of DMT? How do you rank DMT according to your word innovative? So here is a question where they are trying to measure the innovativeness of a particular company. So here the research is done on a company. Okay, they are trying to find out some information related to a particular company. The particular company name is Data Mining Technologies, or DMT. It's a particular company. So they are trying to find out whether that company is innovative or not. What is the perception of the consumers in terms of the innovativeness of the company? Consumers' response towards the innovativeness. So they have asked a question here about the innovativeness. So if the consumer feels that it is very innovative, then he will have to mark his response +5. In front of +5, he has to tick. If it is something less than +5, then it will be +4. It is innovative, but not very innovative. Next, +3 it may be, +2, +1. +1 means it is not at all very, it is innovative, but just one step, not very innovative in that sense. The degree. So here they are trying to measure the degree to which the particular characteristic, say innovativeness. Here it is innovativeness, like that. If they find it is not innovative, there also, to what extent it is not innovative, it may be different levels, -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. If it is innovative, to what extent it is innovative, there also 5 levels is there, +1 to +5. If it is not innovative, there also there is 5 levels is there. -5 represents it is poorly, it is not at all innovative, like that. So degree of innovativeness they are trying to measure. So you can use a staple scale. That is called a staple scale. Then another type of question that can be put in questionnaire is the constant sum question. A constant sum question permits collection of ratio data, meaning that the data is able to express a relative value of importance of the options. Say option A is twice as important as option B. Look, sometimes when you are using a ranking scale, say first rank, second rank, third rank. So in one of the questions that we have seen, rank order scaling, rank order scale method. So if somebody is giving there, we have seen an example of automobile there, Honda, Mazda, Toyota and all, right? So there, suppose somebody gives Honda number 1, reliability, then Toyota number 2. To what extent the difference 1 and 2 is there, that you will not understand. But sometimes you will have to make that understand sometimes. Then you can use constant sum. Okay. Sometimes, so that difference you can make out through a ratio scale. So we will see this example. So for example, here the question is, the following question asks you to divide 100 points between set of options to show the value or importance you place on each option. Distribute the 100 points, giving the more important reasons a greater number of points. The computer will prompt you if your total does not equal to 100 points. Okay, so here in the question, say here we are seeing when thinking about the reasons you purchase our target find data mining software. Please rate the following reasons according to their relative importance. So here is a question about a software. It's again a research here. Somebody is doing a research. So we are taking one example of the one question, that is constant sum question here. So it is asking the consumers as the software is named as target find data mining software. It's a software. So when they are buying that, what are the different reasons that they give for the purchase? So while purchasing a product, there will be different reasons, is it not? Say when you are buying a soap, it is not one reason that you are buying soap. There will be different multiple reasons. One, it is price is there. Another one is availability is there, right? Another is the quality of the product will be there. So like the different reasons will be there for buying one product. So similarly here, they are trying to identify what are the different reasons and to what extent each reason is important. So as I said, for a soap, if I'm telling that price is important, for me, whether it is the most important, so I can give a rank order here, okay, for different things. So I'll give the price is the most important reason for me to purchase. Second one is availability. Third one is the quality, something like that. But if I give that, to what extent the price is more important than the quality, that I don't understand. So that time I'll have to give constant sum question. Okay, where the total sum of the weightage that I give for the different parameters, total should be same. So total should be 100 here in this particular case. So you see that they are asking to find out the customers who have bought this particular software, what are the different reasons and their relative importance. How much important it is on a scale of 100 points. Out of 100, how much you give for the seamless integration with other software. Compatibility, nothing but compatibility. Whether that software is compatible with the other software, so that you are considering to what extent. Out of 100, how much point you give for that. User friendliness of the software, how much points you give. Whether it is more than the compatibility or less than the compatibility. Ability to manipulate algorithms, that is another feature of a software. Whether you give importance to that, to what extent you give. Level of pre and post purchase service, the service component, what importance you give. Price, level of value of the price of the software, how much. Convenience of purchase, quick of delivery. So like that. So for each reasons they have to give the points, and total should be 100. So that is called as constant sum question. So this type of question also can be put in questionnaire. Then open-ended questions. So you may frame some open-ended questions also. The open-ended question seeks to explore the quality, in-depth aspects of a particular topic or issue. So here, open-ended is simple. You ask a question and give 2-3 lines, and the response will be giving the they will write whatever they feel. So this type of question is very easy to give, very easy to put in questionnaire, but very difficult to do the analysis after you collect the data. For giving the question in open-ended, it is very good, but analyzing open-ended question is tough compared to other types of question. Other type of question, it may be you will have to work more while giving or designing the questionnaire, but later on it is much easier compared to open-ended question. Okay, while doing the data analysis. So it gives a person the chance to respond in detail. So in detail, the respondent can write maybe 2-3 lines or 4 lines he will have to write there. Okay, so that is open-ended. For example, a question may be asked, what products or service were you looking for that were not found in our website? What are the different products that you did not find in our website? 2-3 lines may be given and the respondent will be writing some answers there. So that is called as open-ended question. So that is about different types of questions that we can put in a questionnaire, give in a questionnaire. Then there are certain steps while designing the questionnaire. 10 steps towards designing a questionnaire that has to be followed. So very first thing that you have to know is that what are you trying to find out. So this is, while doing research, most of the students, they will come with some very common question. So what questions I have to put in questionnaire? They don't know how to prepare the questionnaire. So they will come and ask, or they will go to Google and simply download a questionnaire. Look, each questionnaire is prepared for a specific purpose. Each questionnaire is designed to collect a specific data or information that is their objective of research. Right? The objective of research, based on that you are preparing a questionnaire. What is the purpose of your research? Based on that. So simply going and downloading a questionnaire will not give you any, knowledge. So there is a particular flow. It depends objectives of your research. What is your objectives of research? Based on that you are preparing a questionnaire. And how do you know what is the objective of research? That is based on your research topic. So how do you know what is your research topic? So that is the area in which you are doing the research. So how do you know what is your area of your doing research? That is your interest. That is what you are trying to of questions that has been put in questionnaire. Right? Types of questions we have discussed already. Specific question depends on your topic, your objective. So that has to be very clear. First, what are you trying to find out? So there is no general answer. If somebody comes and asks, sir, what should be the question? So I will say, what is your topic? What is your objective? And another very common question student ask is, sir, how many number of questions I have to put? Again, it depends. What is your objective? How much information you have to collect related to that objective? That much questions you have to put. But in general, too many questions should not be there. Too many questions. Maybe if you are doing a research for your project or internship or any academic purpose, so I would say that the question should not go more than 30 questions, 30 or 40 questions. Okay, not more than that. How many pages? This is another common question that students will ask. Sir, how many pages questionnaire should be? Again, it depends on your number of questions. Then again, if you ask what is the number of questions, I will tell what is the objective. To achieve that objective, you need to have sufficient questions there. Like that. Okay. So for your case, academic purpose, maybe 30 to 40 questions is enough. If you are asking generally. Okay. So the first thing is you should know why you are preparing that questionnaire. What is the purpose of your research? How are you going to use this information? After collecting the information, how you are going to analyze it? Right. How are you going to distribute this questionnaire? Whether you are going to make telephone calls to the respondents and collect the data, whether you are going to post it, whether you are going to use any web sources, conference, online, you are going to contact the respondents, whether it is face-to-face, how are you going to do that? You should have some information. Based on that, there will be slight changes in the type of questions that you are going to put. Right? Whether you are collecting qualitative data or quantitative data. And these things should be very, and always the questions, as we have said, it should be very short, small questions. It should not be 2 lines, 2-3 lines questions. Better, because it becomes simple to understand. If you make too much questions, long questions, then the respondents may not answer it. Okay, so that's why you should make it very, the question length, each question length and number of questions also, it should be as minimum as possible, but it should be sufficient to achieve your objectives. Whether some more steps is there. Use simple and direct language. You should use very simple language in preparing the questionnaire. As I said, should not search dictionary for the meaning of the words that you have used in the questionnaire. It should be very simple to understand, so that the response rate is higher. Start with something general. So you have to first ask the general questions, say like name, gender, education, qualification, income, family size, all these things. So that is general. People will find much easier to answer this rather than directly asking for how many long years you are buying this product, what is your opinion about this. So instead of starting like this, so the order should be like that, where you start the questionnaire with simple questions first, then later related to your objectives of research. That's why we normally ask the demographic questions first in questionnaire, because it is very simple to answer. Place the most important questions in the first half of the questionnaire. So in research, in questionnaire, there will be something that you have to collect that is most important. So that you have to put it in the middle, first part of the questionnaire. If you put it in the last, the questionnaire may not be filled properly, then you will lose that responses. If the respondents do not fill that properly, then you may lose that data. Leave enough space to record the answers. So when you are preparing the questionnaire, the layout and space should be sufficient so that the respondents have space to answer the questions. Test your questionnaire on your colleagues, with your colleagues. So once you prepare the questionnaire, it is not directly sending to different respondents. You have to test it, whether it is okay, whether the people are understanding the questions, whether they can mark it. So that you have to give it to some few friends and ask whether it is okay, whether they are able to find any difficulties in answering. If any difficulty is there, that you have to check and you have to rectify that. So that is how you these steps you have to follow while designing the questionnaire. So that is about questionnaire. Then in the next topic, we'll be discussing on the schedule. So that we will discuss in the coming sessions.